Alright, welcome back to another match in the RU tournament here on Pokemon Infinity. This is Attea versus Josh. We are getting down to the crunch time of the group stage now. We've got 4 or 5 matches left to play, I think, and we are starting to see how the rankings are shaping up in terms of who's going to make it to playoffs and who isn't. But there are still 2 playoff spots to play for, and basically anyone left between places 3 and 7 in the group can make it to playoffs. So as long as these 2 players win their remaining matches, they can qualify. So it's going to be no holds barred here, I'm sure. And we see an aggressive start, knockoff right in there. Obviously knocks off the damp rock, but the rain dance does go up. So we're going to get 1 8-turn rain here. But in the long term, that knockoff is going to be rather helpful, I would imagine. A burn there is unfortunate. We're obviously working with pre-Gen 7 burn mechanics, whereby the damage from burn is still 1/8 or 1/10 or something. It's a significant amount compared to the 1/16 that burn is in future generations. So even on a non-physical attacking Pokemon, getting burned is quite a detriment. Here we see Seismitoad. Now, if this is a specially defensive Wartortle, honestly, it could probably just roost forever on Seismitoad and not really care. Obviously, Seismitoad could knock off, which would get rid of the Violite, which maybe would have been the play actually in that scenario. But obviously, you don't want to take the damage from an opposing Scald, or you don't want to get toxic. So, Wartortle sitting quite pretty, I have to say, against a Rain team. Having a water resist is nice, and it's always threatening with Toxic and Scald. Goes into Flygon here. Now we're going to get momentum back with Parting Shot, so I would expect to see Seismitoad come in again, or Kingdra. Kingdra will be fine. Obviously, going for Draco is risky, given that Attea does have a Pharynx on the team. But Surf or Hydro Pump are both fairly free. Even with Wartortle resisting, it's still going to do a lot of damage from Specs Rain boosted Kingdra, so let's see what Josh chooses to go for, and what Attea chooses to do in return. Do you just sacrifice? Okay, just sacrifice, and obviously locks into Ice Beam there, which means there's a fairly free switch into Sorcerer Ice, if Attea wants to do so. I don't mind the sack of Flygon there too much. It's pretty terrible in this matchup. Goes back into Leonardo. Okay. Toxic does come out here, which is going to be ineffective against Rest, so that's a good turn for Josh. I think Attea needs to switch here and try and get some momentum. Yeah, that's wise. Oh, it does hit the Rain Dance. Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure which is better for Attea in terms of... Oh, goes into Seismitoad. That's going to be a rough turn for Attea. Obviously, now you're locked in to Volt Tackle, you need to switch. Expect to see an... Oh no, goes for Surf. Okay. Wow, that does a lot of damage, doesn't it? And we see the burn really taking its toll here, because obviously without any of the burn chip, Leonardo would have been comfortably high enough HP to switch into Seismitoad there. Obviously, Scarf Gorochu not going to outspeed here. And it's going to die to a Surf. Unless Scarf Gorochu... No, it doesn't. No way. Unless it's not max speed, which is, always possible, but very unlikely. Okay, plays it safe. Maybe it's not max speed then. We're going to see a Parting Shot here, I'm very certain. At least I'm pretty certain. Maybe a Stealth Rock. That would also be very useful for Josh, in terms of limiting the number of switch-ins. We do see the Parting Shot. Okay, so Benui is now at -1 attack. Obviously still fairly strong, but would likely die to a Hydra Pump in this scenario. Obviously... Oh wait, there isn't a Pharynx on this team. I was misremembering the team. My apologies. So in that case, Draco is very free. Obviously, Hydra Pump risks the Sorcerize switch. I'm going to assume Sorcerize is dry skin. It might not be. Okay. Takes that not too badly. I mean, if Sorcerize is dry skin, you just have to go into it here. It's completely free. If it's not dry skin, obviously that makes the situation tougher. But if it is, I don't know why you wouldn't go straight into it here. Yeah, this is going to be not the best turn. Okay, well that's worked out alright. Obviously it's already asleep, so you don't need to lovely kiss. Wow, goodness, that's that's lucky, isn't it? Now Calm Mind is pretty nice here. The sad thing is that Seismitoad has knockoff, which means all you do is... Well, it's risky to switch in right now because obviously Freeze Dry's on, so you have to make an intermediate play. Which... maybe you just go into Garbodor. Obviously, Sleep Clause is a thing, so as long as Politoed stays asleep, Attea won't be allowed to use Lovely Kiss on another Pokemon. I'm not sure if Josh is thinking about Lovely Kiss as an option or not, to be honest, because it's not a super commonly run move on Sorcerice. Not that it's been used to great extent in the metagame. But Josh is having a good old think about it. Oh, I mean, that Rain Dance is incredibly... Think about it, without that Rain Dance, Sorcerice just goes ham here. Which is a real shame for Attea. Josh is really having a think about this. Obviously deciding which mon to sacrifice. I would think Garbodor, because it's not even a sacrifice, it's got Unaware, so you just come in and you're fine. You don't really need to think about this. I'm not sure why Josh is taking so much time. You just go into Garbodor. Unless he's gone AFK or something. Just trying to think if there's any way Attea can get a win here. I mean, to be fair, Seismitoad is heavily chipped down. Kingdra's taken some damage from... Oh no, has Kingdra taken any damage? I could be wrong there. But Azumarill's still alive, and Accelerock is always useful. So, if played correctly, there's a good chance... Well, I say a good chance, there's some chance that Accelerock can clutch things up in the end game, but I do worry that Seismitoad is going to be able to come in after a sacrifice or after a Garbodor pivot and just get things done here. Josh is thinking incredibly hard about this. I would suspect that Josh is AFK for some reason here. I don't think that this is a turn that requires that much thought. You got a big garbage can, you just go into the big garbage can. I don't know if he's fearing Hidden Power Ground or something like that. He's not seen Lovely Kiss in action yet, I don't think. So, could be fearing Hidden Power Ground, but, you know. It's Unaware, so even Hidden Power Ground isn't going to kill or anything. So you can just use it as a sacrifice. Or use it as a kind of a middle ground play regardless. Oh, there we go. Goes into Unknown. Not sure about that, to be honest. I guess it's just a sacrifice rather than the middle ground. So you're going to let this go, and then obviously and go into Seismitoad, and then you've got, I think, 2 turns of rain or something after that, which is going to be enough to knock off. I fear that Attea won't think about knockoff being an option. Oh, how strange. Okay, gets rid of Crobat. That seemed like a roundabout way of doing things, but sure. Yeah, doesn't hesitate. Goes for the knockoff and gets knocked out. And there's one more turn of rain, but I think Accelerock might be enough to kill here. Just about. Okay, well, Earthquake is... Oh, there's no Earthquake! No, there's no Earthquake! Oh my goodness, I'm amazed that there's no Earthquake on that Pokemon. That's honestly a disaster. I can't believe that Azumarill doesn't have EQ. Flare Blitz just invites Kingdra in at this point. I would have probably preferred to see a Volt Tackle. I suppose you don't want to give Seismitoad a free switch in, but then Josh isn't going to risk Seismitoad on that move anyway, because it's not really safe, it's not reliable. So I think Volt Tackle was generally more productive, because yeah, Kingdra comes in now, and what do? You sacrifice Garbo, and now you're just kind of screwed. Can you Volt Tackle? How much is Volt Tackle going to do here? Well, if it puts it in range of... yeah. This is tough. You don't really have an option here. This is just going to... yeah. I think you might need a Volt Tackle crit here. That might be the best / only option. Volt Tackle crit. Here we go. Oh, never mind. Garbodor's still alive. Yeah. It's going to be game over. Forgot about the Garbodor. So really the issue here was no Earthquake. I'm going to blame Ace for that one. I believe Ace was the main consultant for Attea's team building. So we'll all blame Ace for Attea's loss there, because I think with Earthquake that would have been a very different story. There was no ground resist. It hit everything on the team really hard, and it would have made things very difficult for Josh in that endgame. So nevertheless, we see the end of the match there. Congratulations, Josh. Commiserations, Attea, and we'll come back in the next one.